Hey, it's Lauren from Restore Your Core, and in this video, we're talking about why orgasm can feel harder to reach after menopause. If this is happening to you, you're definitely not alone. This is a very common experience, but one that is rarely talked about. So today we're going to unpack what's happening in the body, how hormones and blood flow affect orgasm, and what you can do to begin restoring connection and sensation. So after menopause, and during the transition, levels of estrogen and testosterone, progesterone drop significantly, and that can change how arousal and orgasm feel. Estrogen keeps the vaginal tissues thick, elastic, and well lubricated. And when it declines, those tissues can become thinner, drier, and then blood flow to the pelvic region just naturally decreases. Testosterone also contributes to desire and sensitivity, so lower levels can mean that it just takes longer to feel turned on or to build enough intensity for orgasm. So in addition to hormones, emotional and physical factors really matter. Stress, fatigue, relationship changes, or just feeling disconnected from your body, from all the changes, can really also influence arousal. And if the pelvic floor muscles are tight or weak, then that will affect sensation and circulation in the area as well. So orgasm is not just a muscular reflex, right? It's a circulatory and neurological event. It's kind of cool. During arousal, blood flows to the clitoris, vagina, and surrounding tissues a lot. Massive increases of blood. So this blood brings oxygen and nutrients, allowing those tissues to swell, become sensitive, and respond to touch. So it's that rise in blood flow that creates the foundation for pleasure and for orgasm. And when circulation is limited, again, whether it's from hormonal changes, a tight pelvic floor, or just general inactivity, right? Arousal can feel muted, orgasm might feel harder to reach. A tight pelvic floor can restrict blood flow by compressing blood vessels, right? And like also a weak pelvic floor, tight, weak, they just don't contract strongly enough. Both tight, weak, they just don't get there. So the blood doesn't move efficiently, and it disrupts this buildup and this release that leads to orgasm. So think of your pelvic floor as like a group of muscles that need to be both strong and flexible. And if those muscles are too tight or weak, they stay in a contracted state, leading to more pain with penetration or a sense of numbness, or even like a blockage. So then again, they can't generate the tone. Like orgasm is like a lot of it's very quick, a lot of blood flow, a lot of muscular contraction during orgasm. But if your muscles, again, are not doing that, and you're not going to get all that blood flow that's needed, which is also why doing endless amounts of Kegels won't really help. So how do you begin rebuilding that connection so that you do get the blood flow? Some things you cannot change, like estrogen, right? You cannot change, and hormones. You can't change that just by breathing well and moving well and doing all of, like, let's say you're doing my program, Restore Your Core. It's not going to change your hormones, right? For that, you need medical intervention. I'm not a medical doctor, so I don't give medical advice, but there is plenty of medical intervention available, both intravaginal creams and patches and pills and all sorts of things that you can take to actually replace the hormones that you're losing. And that can really help a lot, but it's not the whole story. Like, you don't want to just slap a patch on it and call it a day, because your pelvic floor muscles do deserve, right? They do deserve this ability to, on their own, generate all that blood. And so practices that bring much more awareness to the pelvic floor, practices that encourage the pelvic floor to do its job, are really recommended. Breathing exercises, movement exercise. My online program, Restore Your Core, my 12-week online program, is phenomenal for supporting the changes that happen in the pelvic floor during the menopause transition. So if you are struggling, first of all, know that you're really not alone. Like, this happens to a lot of people. And know that it's not like a price you're paying because you're doing something wrong. This is a very normal process that's happening for you. But also know that there's so much you can do, both medical but non-medical, to really actually bring your connection back to your pelvic floor. A lot of us just haven't been taught how to be connected to our pelvic floor. It's not like a handbook we were given. We're doing the best that we can. But there are so many tried and true practices that you can do to begin to connect better to your pelvic floor, to get your pelvic floor responding to breath, to movement, doing core pelvic floor, whole body movements that, again, encourage all of that blood flow. So that when you do go in for orgasm, however you get there, you not only have the arousal part, because arousal is just one part of it. A lot of people have arousal, no problem. But suddenly, like, they just can't orgasm. Some people lack arousal and they lack the ability to orgasm with menopause, right? So that's, the inability to orgasm is, again, the muscles are struggling to like come to the marathon. And there's a lot we can do for that. And you deserve to explore the potential within your body, to explore the potential in your pelvic floor, and to get your pelvic floor doing its pelvic floor job, right? The pelvic floor has a job, and there's so much we can do to get the pelvic floor in this place that it's reacting, contracting, engaging, and very much a part of all of our movements throughout the day. So if this was helpful, feel free to share the video to people who you care about and love about. I think a lot of people don't talk about this openly. Sex, menopause, orgasm. We've got to start talking about it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video.